Hello Scorpio, and welcome to my channel. This is going to be a general reading for those born under the sign of Scorpio for November 2020. Now keep in mind this is going to be a general reading, so some parts may resonate with you, some parts may not. Most of it may not. It depends on your situation. And there's also going to be a big old full moon at the start of the month, so it's going to make things quite interesting, I'm sure. Oh yeah, and we're in retrograde, aren't we? Yes, the old Mercury retrograde. That's not such a bad thing. Anyway, oops. We're going to be doing a simple Celtic cross spread. I just got my hand out of a cast a couple of days ago, so it's still a little bit stiff and difficult to shuffle, but it's so much better than what it used to be. But as you can imagine, having no movement for about 6 weeks stiffens everything up quite a bit. So let's see. Scorpio, what have we got for you? Oh, that's good. I'm just going to put them there. Okay, focus the reading. Queen of Swords. You may be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. Or you're just coming in, you're seeing things a lot, I'm just getting you seeing things a lot more clearly now. More than anything. It's not even about communication, it's just I'm getting this, like, you're seeing things very clearly. Challenge in this Seven of Cups. So you may have a lot of options, or you may have confusion at this time, or perhaps you're just putting your energy in sort of many directions rather than sort of focusing on one particular sort of area. So that could have something to do with wanting to, or seeing things very clear. Perhaps there's a lot of confusion around you and you're probably the only reasonable person among the lot. It could be a case of this. Let's see what else we have. Ooh, Ace of Wands. Isn't that nice? Hangman. Four of Pentacles. Five of Cups. Seven of Pentacles. The Fool. Two of Wands. And the Devil. Okay, bottom of the deck, the Empress. I'm just getting, it's like you need to take a step back, Scorpio, and start to sort of refocus on yourself in a certain aspect. You've been giving a lot of energy into things that aren't really productive here. Queen of Swords. This is, yeah, wanting to see things clearly in a situation, but I'm getting it's like you already see things clearly in a situation. Usually this card can represent like clear communication, honest communication. It can also signify being harsh with your words, that sort of thing, which there could be a possibility of doing. But seeing things more clearly, like it's drawing my attention here to the light. Is it coming from her, reflecting off her? I can't quite tell. Reflecting, it looks like, because she's wearing a crown, so that would make sense. But as it's reflecting off the sword, but you have this pillar of light here reflecting off this lady, but it's what I'm getting is illumination. It's like this clarity that you see. It's like you found some illumination recently in the past, or in the challenge. We'll go to that. So Seven of Cups. You have a lot of possibly confusion or not knowing which direction to take. You may have a lot of options on your in front of you at the moment, and you want to be absolutely clear before you dedicate any time and energy into anything or anyone. Okay. Recent past here, Four of Pentacles. So holding on to what you have. This could be trying to hold on to people in your life that sort of thing. But if anything, I'm getting that you've been very careful about where you've been putting your time and energy, more than anything. And I'm getting this too with this, where it's drawing me to reiterate, like the refocusing on the self sort of thing, to sort of pull back a little bit of your energies where they've been sort of going a little bit, possibly scattered too much. Like, what's the expression? Like, not enough butter on too much bread. Like you're being spread thin, is kind of what I'm getting here. But you're not really making any sudden moves until you really gain some clarity on each and every situation before you put your time and energy in. You're being very cautious about where your time and energy is going, which is a good thing. I mean, you don't want to overextend yourself, but it seems like you have a good possibility that this may happen, so to be cautious of this. Ace of Wands here, so in crowning you and the subconscious Ace of Wands, so it's like this illumination I was mentioning here, this is like what's going on inside of you here, is sort of what I'm getting. It's like this burning desire that's like, it's like things are just opening up for the first time that you haven't seen before. There's been a lot of things that have been right in front of you, perhaps, but it's like you've never really seen them clearly, or you're just seeing things in a new light. But this, like, it's like if you've seen someone sort of glowing from the forehead, for example, or let's say it will be more realistic, or as realistic as wearing a crown might be, but you're wearing something reflective like a headband. Okay, probably never happened, but just bear with me. You have someone sort of talking to you and the sun's reflecting off this headband sort of thing. And I think, wow, that's pretty cool. It's like, they may think, wow, there's something about them, there's some kind of holy person or something, or whatever. But that like little reflection, it's like inside of you here, it's like this, it's like it's almost an explosion of, and that's possibly why it's been confusing to see which direction to go in, is because you've got all this very powerful energy that you want to sort of focus your energy, and you've got all these things in front of you, and it's like you could be spreading yourself thin if you start going through trying to investigate every single thing. So here you have in a foundation the Hangman, or the Hanging Man. So this is basically, this card speaks of self-sacrifice. It's putting yourself in a position, like this dude here has put himself in this position, okay, to basically find enlightenment. Like you'll see many cards like the traditional tarot will have this guy's head will be illuminated completely, because he's basically putting himself in a difficult position, hanging from the tree to gain enlightenment, so to speak. So basically you're putting yourself in a position where you're not moving forward, you're not moving backward, you're not moving anywhere. You're keeping yourself sort of centered where you are until you see the light on every single situation. You're not going to go forward until you've considered all options. And here too, Seven of Pentacles. So as you're seeing yourself, this is a time of reflection here. Seeing how much you're putting into a situation to how much you're getting out, is basically what this card represents. So with the Four of Pentacles, you've been keeping everything close to your heart in the past, but here you're trying to be more open. I think you've been trying to be more open with other people and just seeing how that's been going, and not sort of just putting everything out there and just flopping your heart onto the table and go, what are we going to do about this? Blood and everything spilling everywhere and people freaking out. And it's like, hey, like I just gave you my heart. And you know what I mean? Well, probably not, because it's kind of weird, but So essentially it's like you're being more cautious. It's like before you take your whole heart out of your chest, plonk it on the table and give it to someone and go, there you go. You're maybe having more open communication, some more honest, truthful communication, not something more as sort of too casual. Maybe you've been used to a bit of some casual stuff in the past, and sort of maybe you're in a situation where you want to have something more meaningful, I think. And So you want to be clear which direction, but you're also testing the waters, is the best way I can put it, where you're giving some out and you're seeing what you get back from it. So good position to be in here. It's definitely an improvement from the Four of Pentacles here. Holding on to the past is what I'm getting. Holding on to... actually, for some of you, I'm getting it's like holding on to someone from the past that you may have possibly children with, if this is to deal with a relationship as well. I'm getting the relationship is mainly in the past here, to what's going forward. So there may be some aspects of it you're trying to hold on to, like there hasn't been a complete break, like you're still involved here. And while I was looking here, my attention was being drawn to this area here. So what you've been putting out to what you've been getting back. Okay, now holding on to everything that you've had from the past, and if it's holding on to someone here, I'm saying like if there may be children, because the Empress here is pregnant in the card. It's representative of the mother archetype, so to speak. So there may have been a good happy home life in the past, or there could have been a good relationship in the past, and there's something that you're trying to hold on to tightly from that. I see that this is sort of ended, but is some aspects of it you're holding on to. Maybe this is one of the options too you're trying to hold open, perhaps, is for someone else. So I'm seeing that this energy is going to be impeding you going forward. So basically into the possible soon-to-be future, you've got 5 of Cups. So things may not, some of these cups obviously aren't going to be working out all that well, and depending on how much time and energy you've invested into them, could leave you feeling quite depressed and sort of not understanding how, because it seems to be falling apart a little bit. You've been going pretty well, and then everything sort of seems to start falling apart. But you've got 5 cups here, right? 3 are spilled, 2 are upright behind you, because you're paying attention to the spilled cups. Now, remember that you've invested time and energy and sort of testing the waters with, you have 7 pentacles, 7 cups, right? So you've put a pentacle in each cup, see how it goes. 3 of them haven't worked out, probably not very well. And it's like, okay, but you've kind of forgotten about the other couple that are actually going pretty okay. There's another couple of cups here that have been sort of doing quite well. But if you're focusing too much on the losses, it's like you fail to see this, and it seems to be coming through how others see you or people in your environment. I'm getting it that people, there's 2 sides of this. I'm getting it, people are seeing you as carefree and being more alive, being more like taking risks, that sort of thing. Possibly some of these risks haven't paid off, you see. Some of them, a couple of them haven't come to fruition yet, so keep this in mind. But other people, and I'm going to be honest here, other people are seeing you as a bit of a fool and sort of how you've been going and this sort of thing. And that's both a positive and a negative. So some people are seeing you in a good light. Some of you don't understand what you're going through and are just seeing you're sort of behaving foolishly. I'm not saying that you are. I'm saying this is how other people are perceiving you at the time. But the other aspect, like I was saying, it's like that carefree, that sort of feeling more alive, taking bigger risks, or just seeing how things are going to go. And you may have sort of just put stuff out there, like everywhere, and sort of just see what works or what doesn't. And people might be seeing that as like, what are you doing, sort of thing. It's like you're being foolish, blah, blah, blah. But you sort of, what you're doing. It's just your way of doing it. It's quite simple. And hopes and fears here. So just keep in mind those, like, there are a lot of people that are seeing you that this is quite a positive thing for you. But I'm also seeing some people are a little bit cautious, like that. Hopefully you don't go too far, because it's only going to hurt yourself. Okay, so There's positive and negative aspects to this card here. Like, moving on with the Two of Wands here and your hopes and fears, it's like, well, which choice do I take? It's like, this is a lot with the confusion here. It's like, which is the right one? You know, which is the right choice here? Which is the right path? But you've got two paths, but you've got 7 options, 7 pentacles, 7 cups, 7 pentacles, 2 paths. It's going to be difficult to make the choice. So, and that's kind of the problem with, if you have this burning desire, you have this burning energy within you, and you just start sort of putting it out sort of everywhere. Some of the cows have come home and some of them are still out to pasture, you know, if that makes any sense. Some things aren't going to work out, some things will, but it seems like you're going to be quite focused on what's not working out, and you're not going to be focusing on what actually has been, and focusing your time and energy, or giving more time and energy to what has been working, and you're focusing too much on what hasn't been. So the 2 paths here, hopefully you take the right one, and take the one that's taking more positive movement forward, which is focusing your attention on what is working, okay? And your other path here is to focus on what hasn't been working. So you basically have hope, and you have path of misery, okay? Hopefully that helps clear up some confusion, makes it a little bit easier to see the path now, because I think some people might have needed that. But the possible outcome and the advice here, the Devil. So if you take this path towards misery, focusing on the only the negative aspects of things, and keeping in mind there are 3 spilled cups and 2 full ones, so there's going to be more negative stuff to absorb than the positive. So I'm not saying it's going to be an easy situation, but I don't see it as terribly difficult either. Perhaps you're playing it out more than what it is, or when the time comes, maybe you may react to it in a very large way when it really doesn't need sort of as much of that reaction. It just needs understanding and clarity. And this sort of energy here with the Queen of Swords is in stark contrast to this energy here with the 5 of Cups. This person is ready to face these challenges. This person is ready to acknowledge the losses and acknowledge the wins. This is a person that's confident, that speaks her mind, or his mind. You know, this is what you need to be focusing on. So where the good stuff is, focus your attention on that. You can acknowledge all the bad stuff, all the things that aren't working out, and you know what? It's like, the good thing is that you didn't put all your eggs in one basket, so to speak, but you did put them in a few too many, perhaps. That's where the main issue is. That's where the main challenge is here. And to keep clarity, to keep clear, and to keep focused, it seems, is a big part of it. Because quite honestly, it's like, the energy I'm getting, if you're focusing too much on that, and you're taking a path of misery where you can only see that, it's going to lead you further down a negative road. And let's say, okay, for some of you, if there is a past person here, you're trying to hang on to them too much as an option, perhaps. And then there's 3 people, because in the traditional tarot, there's 3 people in this card. It's a sign of bondage. It's obsession, that sort of thing. If you're still holding on to this, and then this situation here becomes with 3 people, that's not going to lead to anything good in this situation. But basically, or you could also be dealing with a Capricorn here, strong Capricorn energy. The only other energy that I really see we have is an air sign, so Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. There, some readers will sort of suggest, yes, you have Aries here, and you possibly have Taurus there. Personally, I don't read the cards that way, but in this reading I thought I would mention it because it may apply. Also because that was just, it's coming to me, so I mentioned it. But the main thing is, so maybe dealing with a Capricorn, but you've got some very negative energy here as the possible outcome here. The advice is basically to see where you could possibly be ending up, be aware of that, don't freak out over it, and just focus on the things that are working out. turn around, have a look at the good stuff, focus on that, and keep putting your time and energy and attention into this. Because focusing on the negative will lead you down a very negative path. It seems in this case it's I'm gonna draw a clarifier for you on this one. I'm just seeing what else I'm picking up here. It's coming through. Don't go down that path. No good will come of it. That's basically all I'm getting through. There's nothing positive will come from it. Basically, stick to what has been working. Focus your time and energy on that. Be clear about the things that haven't been working, but see clearly what has been. Okay, this is the main message here. This is the main things to focus on. And focusing all this great, powerful energy. This is the caution. Don't be flippant with it. Like, don't let it take control of you, sort of thing. You decide, you choose where to channel that energy is the main thing. Okay. All right, let's get some clarification here on the devil. What's this one? Magician. I'm getting that you have the power to change this. This is your manifestation, basically, one way or the other. So choose which way you're going to manifest your own life. That's basically it. You have the power to change it at any moment you choose. This is the message. I am going to get another one. I don't feel like I need one, but I did place it there in place for another one if needed, so we'll see. Come here. We have Knight of Swords. So yeah, clear, honest communication is key here. Be clear about which way you're going to go. Be clear about your words and your actions. Bottom of the deck here. Is that the ace? Yeah, Ace of Swords. So that emphasizes it's 3 times over. It's sword in his hand, sword in her hand, and the main sword there. So it all comes down to clear, honest communication. And this is tempering this fiery energy here that you've got burning inside and making it like clean and polished. And the edge can be very sharp. This edge is very dull, you see. But when used properly, this can be very, very, very effective. Okay. So be clear which way you're going to go. Focus on the good things. Leave the past, leave the pain where it belongs in the past. Okay. If there is a break here, it needs to be more of a separation, especially if you have someone else going on, or you start a new relationship, for example, or this person has started a new relationship. There needs to be that separation. Okay. It's like there needs to be 2 separate lives, not this life anymore. Like, this life has changed, because this will only bring you more into this negative energy here. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't notice those cards were out of view. I pay too much attention to the cards and not on the screen most of the time. But so the Knight of Swords, clear, honest communication, and it's completely up to you how you're manifesting your path forward. Focus on the positive. Keep giving your time, energy, and attention to that. I keep reiterating this because this is what needs to really sink in. Focusing on the positive, making your own life is what's going to happen. If you let life take control, and it'll just, if you sort of throw all the coins into the air and like, let fate decide, so to speak, maybe it will, but it may not be what you want. You go, oh, well, yeah, well, you let fate decide, and it doesn't care. It's like, it cares about as much as you do. It's like, whatever you want, man, you got it. No, I don't care. I don't have anything to say about it. you know. So anyway, it's completely up to you, Scorpio, which way you take. I think we both know which way you want to take, so keep focusing on that. Don't look back. Keep focusing on that. Keep focusing on it. Keep focusing on it. What you want. Put your time and energy towards that. The positive things in your life. Look at anything that's positive in your life. Anything that's working for you. Keep putting your time and energy into that. This is the main message for the reading. It is all completely in your hands. You have the power to do it. Any communication that you have or any words that need to be spoken need to be done clearly, honestly. And here with the focus here, this person is quite stationary. Here with the Knight of Swords, they are rushing it. There is movement in this card. So basically, don't wait to communicate. If there's anything that you need to say, either to this party or the other people around you, for example, or even communicate about sort of maybe this is stuff that you need to talk about, and maybe this is stuff that you need to be talking about also. So keep this in mind. You may have people around you that may be willing to lend a friendly ear, so to speak. Okay, but you'll know what to do. You'll know what to do, when to do it. Just keep positive forward movement. Focus and channel this energy into a positive path forward, and you basically will be going away from all of that possible negativity. Because yeah. All right, that should be it, Scorpio. I do hope this helped bring some clarity to your situation, and until next time, take very good care.